Our plan is to deliver the tastiest fruit and the best bits of the modalities that we know and have direct experience of.
And really, it's all about balance for me. So working through the chakra system, we'll find out things that maybe not working for you, find out things that are working really well as well, and we'll achieve more balance in those areas, which will help you to transform.
We're looking to support people who have been who have been feeling like they're a little bit disconnected from themselves, and they want to get back to themselves in with those aspects, with community, with connection, with continuity, with consistency.
Balancing the chakras, balancing the system, balancing the energetic system using different modalities is going to give you a better, higher, more balanced again vibration out into the world.
All disciplines have wonderful bits, but I think if you get very attached to one thing, you can get really sort of stuck in that place, and there's not room for other things. So we just, yeah, we've gone around the orchard and we've picked the best cherry.
You know, so if we just chose yoga, or we just chose tapping, then that, you know, that might not actually get into the different bits of your energetic system.
It takes 40 days to break a habit and then 90 days to create a new one. So we will, at the end of the 40 days, we'll be encouraging you to carry on with the work that you started with us. And obviously there'll be touch points where you can come back to us and see how you're getting on.
You know, if there's something that's out of balance generally in your life, it usually is due to one of these energetic systems being out of kilter, and that means that energy can't flow equally and smoothly around your body, and so you might start experiencing pain.
The habits that are subconsciously laid down in us have been laid down over years and decades, and it takes a lot of repetition to really get into the subconscious and to change those patterns.
This is how we know these things have worked for us, and we know using a mix of things have worked for us. You know, where your foundations are maybe not too stable, then it's really difficult to move higher up the chakras and to express your true self.
So the root chakra, as you can see, sits at the base, sits at our perineum, and it's about foundations.
Community comes up in a number of the chakras, but actually in the first one it comes up in the root chakra, and it's all about safety, and it's all about being in community and building stable foundations for the rest of your life. So if your root chakra is really out of balance, because maybe you're not working in community, for example, then you might, you start to maybe feel a bit isolated, maybe a little bit anxious and depressed, and you just start to feel wobbly.
A lot of community has been broken by COVID. People are stuck in their houses. Lots of the things that we did, going to the gym, going to the coffee shops, etc., are becoming really quite difficult. And so the beauty of this is that you can be in your own home and you can connect with people who are like you, who are drawn to us in the same way that you were drawn to us, and start to create a community which will give you a foundation for your life, for your growth, and for your expansion and your journeying up through those chakras as we go through the 40 days.
So with the root chakra, we're really talking about grounding. We're talking about that connection with the earth. And we always like to allude to it as, if you're grounded, then if you feel secure, then you can move on and consider other things. We think of it in terms of being connected via our root system, just like the trees are connected via their root system, and via the fungi. They communicate with each other underground. So whilst we might look at a tree and think, oh, that's an individual tree, an individual plant, its whole existence is supported, and it grows and it's stronger because it's actually connecting with all the trees in ways that we might not be able to see. I think it's one of those things that we've sort of we have lost, haven't we, a little bit. We're all like busy going along in our lives, and actually we've forgotten that actually if we just come back to the base, back to the root, and connect more with people, then opportunities open up for us.
If you've got somebody there who's just got your back, who holds you up.
We're working in community here to produce this program, and that means that the program gathers more traction. We can offer more. We feel more nourished and supported as the people offering the course, as well as you will feel as part of our community when you're actually taking the program.
We'll create a different vibration in our lives through our focus on meditation, through our focus on each other, through our focus on our practice, through our focus on intention setting. Intention setting is particularly key, because as we set intentions, and then we create the manifestation.
For this chakra, if we are feeling overwhelmed, then you may have an imbalance in this chakra.
The manifestation is just how energy is physically manifested on this, down here, on the ground. So creativity has all sorts of different aspects to it.
I keep coming back to the word stuck. You know, if you're feeling stuck in your life and blocked, then it's often because you have some sort of blockage in this chakra. So picking up the tools that can really help to free the energy in this area will help you to feel unstuck. And you know, if we're feeling unstuck, then that means we're going to be able to move a bit further forward, which the power to do that is linked to the next chakra.
There's a little bit of artistic license in this, because the nabi is actually probably nearer where they put the sacral. I would have put the sacral here and the nabi here. The nabi sits 2 fingers width below your navel, your belly button rather, and that is the thing that drives us. It's our powerhouse. It's in Chinese energy work, they recognize it, they call it the dantian, and it's where all martial arts bring all their energy. So when we're in purpose, we use the navel chakra, the nabi, to propel us. It's where our discipline, it's where our courage, it's where our determination comes from. And we will be feeling into purpose through the intention setting, and where it is we want to go, and what we want to bring, not just to our own lives individually, but how we want the changes within us to ripple out. We love talking about ripples. But when we're in a better space, the ripples around our lives become really quite palpable.
People that have issues with worth and with their self-esteem really benefit from working in this area.
So we'll be working with the thing. Most people are quite resistant to working around the nabi, because there's a lot of tension there, because it does mean stepping slightly out of our comfort zones often, but it is by stepping out of our comfort zones that we step into growth.
Yeah, there's a really nice chant you can do that really focuses on the navel, and whenever I chant it, I really feel powered up. So what you've said about the powerhouse, and you know, it's really that engine that you've worked on your creativity, you have all these ideas. Now how are you actually going to make them come to fruition? By having a strong navel.
When we come from love, we always come from the kindest place. It is one of the purest emotions you can experience.
What we're trying to do here with everything that we're offering is to build a community of love, and the more we can drop into the heart and, you know, get out of our minds, it's like busy minds, and really drop into our bodies and drop into the heart space, then the more compassionate we're going to be.
There has been so little love in the world for a long, long time. And it feels to us that heart-centered, you have to come from the heart. We have to come from an authentic place in order to properly like make those connections that Jenny was talking about.
Um, the heart and the link to community always comes up for me as well, because actually if we're contracted and you know we've been hurt before maybe, then we might hide away, we might shy away from being part of a community. But actually it's by stepping into communities that we begin to open ourselves up in the heart space.
We love what we do, and we want you to share, to feel our love, and to reflect our love back to us. As Jenny said, we are building a community of love, one connection at a time, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
The heart space as well is a place of, for me, a place of boundaries. So you're acting out of the heart space and creating boundaries for yourself and for others. If we can really drop into that heart space and really find balance, then we'll be able to act in a really neutral way. We won't be so reactive to certain circumstances. We might be able to bridge the highs and the lows that everybody feels, so as they go about their day-to-day lives.
So the animal realm is the root and the sacral and the nabi chakras, and the angelic realm is the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And it's the heart that bridges. I'll show you my heart. It's the heart that bridges those two realms, and is an incredibly powerful place.
You know, boundaries keeps coming up so many times when we speak to people. People either, you know, having too many boundaries and too many walls in place, or just not having any at all. And to achieve balance, and to achieve balance from a heartfelt space, is one of the things that we will be learning on the programme. The throat chakra is all about having a voice, and you know, if we're thinking about balancing all the chakras out, then it may be that we've suppressed our voice in the past. You know, we've talked already about might be ancestral issues, might be family issues, and you know, actually having a voice is actually quite a tricky thing. You know, we were talking previously about fear of public speaking being one of those top 5 fears, and actually fear of, you know, I think there's a lot of fear around you using the voice and using it in the right way. I mean, when we're children, we're often told, you know, think before you speak, and this is generally suppressing us and making us get into our heads before we can actually speak from the heart. So in the program, we'll be doing a lot of exercises to open up this area here.
Some people really don't like to talk in groups, especially when the groups get too big. And some of the sharing we'll do will be quite intimate. And so we'll also have breakout groups within the group. So we'll break out into pairs and threes and just smaller groups where you can really express yourself in a safe and a nurturing and a confidential environment.
Yeah, if we have got any fears, we'll tap. As soon as I say tap, I always start tapping. So I'm now currently tapping through my energy meridian points as I speak. You know, we'll tap through any fears you've got. And also the end aim is that you find your voice.
We will obviously be talking about where you're at the beginning of the course, and then see where you get to by the end.
You know, you might come out of this just feeling that you can speak your truth a little bit more.
But just finding your voice, finding your truth, your authenticity, and being able to express it and send it out on a current of love. So the third eye is linked to the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. The pineal gland actually contains the same structures as the eyes that we can see on our faces, the rods and cones. And
we often have pushed down this idea of embracing our intuition as being something that actually we shouldn't listen to, we shouldn't trust, and that it's something a bit, again, a little bit wobbly, maybe a little bit woo.
And it is through coming into the third eye, into our, it gives us a more subtle insight into where it is we want to go.
The more we can really feel into our intuition using Kundalini yoga exercises, using guided visualizations that we'll take you on, then the more we can really tap into these little gems of insights.
There is more and more evidence that meditation enhances the activity of the pineal gland, and it's the pineal gland that gives us insight into things that are beyond this physical realm. There are lots of other energies spinning around in the universe. I mean, if you look out at the stars at night, you can see infinite stars. There is so much more to this universe than what we have on this physical plane. And so when we work with the pituitary gland, and we work with the pineal gland, and we work with the third eye, we start to get a sense of ourselves as spiritual beings that are having a human experience, and we're bringing all of that knowledge through, and we can start to see that what we have on this physical plane is not all that there is to us.
I love the word that Emma used, the word not intuition, but the word insight. You know, the more recognition of the negative patterns and the negative stories that we run, the more that we recognize those, then the less power they have, and will really help you to really develop that intuition, to develop those insights. Even if you just find one, or you're already aware of one but you're not quite aware of the nuances, then that's something that you can take with you, and you can practice, and we can give you meditations to practice after we've finished the program even, that will help you.
It's hard to imagine from a place, from the starting point, reaching out to the heavens and receiving the energy. But when babies are born, they have 4 plates on their skulls, and they have the little soft spot called the fontanelle. And the fontanelle is really where the crown chakra is, and it gradually closes over in all of us. And it's said that that is shutting down actually our connection to our higher selves, to the universe, to the place, to source, where we came from.
This is another chakra where community comes in for me, and expanding yourself and feeling you're not separated. Just by being in community, you're not sort of only the one or just the one. Even if you're in a community of 2, there's still one more than you were originally.
And so the process that we're going to go through, this journey through the chakras, once we get up to the top, we'll be ready to open ourselves up and receive energy that's beyond what we're experiencing right now.
And the more expansive we can be, and the more that we actually realize that we're all connected, then the more, again, we come back to the heart chakra, don't we? The more empathetic we can be, and then the more we realize that it's not just us, the more we can actually probably feel grounded and go back to the root chakra as well.
And that gives us a much more expansive way of living and interacting with the people that we live and interact with.
Many of us feel separation, and in various different degrees of separation from time to time. And in that state of separation, we're not able to receive. We're not able to be expansive because we're separated. We're anxious. We're concerned.
We'll open up things that maybe you've never even heard of, and just start to explore things that are beyond this physical realm, other places that you can go in your mind with your energetic body. is complete comfort in your own skin.
Being is not still being caught up in your old patterns. Being is being expansive, being connected to yourself, truly connected to yourself, and being connected to others.
Being is loving yourself no matter what.
As human beings, we are connected in whatever you believe in, whether that's nature or being connected to universe. So
being is forgiving yourself and those around you.
Being connected in the stillness and in the comfort of yourself, and really shining out.
Being is acting in the highest good.
Your being, shining out your gift. Being is shining your gift.
And accepting others in every moment. Being is filling your space and occupying it with confidence and love.